Question number 33. So let's start with the question number 33. Now, this question is on image compression. Image compression means, I think you remember, images consist of pixels, right? So we discuss every image, we have pixels. So if we have an image, so we can break into rows and columns. And when you take up this one of these square shaped block, we call it a pixels. So if you want to represent the image as it is, you need a lot of space. So to reduce that, we can use image compression. So question asks, which of the following statements regarding image compression are true, right? And then it says with lossless compression. So there are two compression, lossy and lossless. Now, what do you mean by lossy? So there are two compression. We can compress this, right? We can make it a small. And if you can get exactly the same image back, we call lossless. We call lossless. If you can get exactly the same image, we call lossless. But after that one, if you are getting not the same image, we call lossy, right? So the A says with lossless compression, every single bit of data was originally in the file remains after the file is uncompressed. Yes, it's true. So lossless means you compress it, and once you get it back uncompressed, right, you are getting the same. So A is correct answer. Then B says lossy compression. So why we need lossy compression? To reduce the size, right? So the lossy compression is used to data size storage, handling, and transmission. So that is also true. That's why we have a lossy compression. So usually you have a reduced data size. So B is also correct. Now we have part C. Lossy compression is the larger files than lossless compression. No, it's not true. So remember, lossy is always you get a smaller file, but you might not get the exact same image. So the answer is A, B only. About 80% of the time you got the correct answer. Right. So that is question number 33. So let's move on to question number 34. So the question number 34 is on e-government services. So this is an easy one. Which of the following is not an example e-government service? Not an example. Accessing GC O-level results, it's a government service. Downloading national ID card application, it's a government service. Paying water bills is a government service. But buying items from an online shop is not an government, it's a private and usually business to customer or business to business service. So the second one is the answer. And question number 35. Right. Now, we have given a pseudocode environment. So we have payment option false if distance is greater than 100. We say payment option true if vehicle type is bus, then payment is false, and so on. Which of the following correct according to the above pseudocode? Right. Now you can put this value. If the distance is 90 and vehicle type car, payment option will be made true. So let's look at payment option is first false. And we will check whether the distance is greater than 100. Right? No, 90 is not greater than 100. So there's nothing changed here because it won't go inside. Right? So this first one is incorrect. Second one, if distance is 99, bus type, again true. No, again 99 is not greater than this, that is also incorrect. So it could be either 3 or 4. So let's start with the 3. 101, it's greater than. So you go inside. Payment will be true, right? And then if the type is bus, payment option will be false. So this is the correct option. I think almost everyone got the correct answer. So I think that's also not that difficult one when you compare the other questions. Right. So the third one is the correct one. Okay, let's move on to question number 36. Right. Marks obtained by 10 students of ICT paper is given in the array A. Remember what is an array A? We use indexes, right? Array means with a single name, we can store multiple values. So that is what an array is. So then we will have some index values. So we will have 0, 1, 2, this we call index value, right? Depend on how you put the value, right? Because it says it's starting with 0. So that's why I put 0 here. If it says index is 1, then we have to put 1. Then this is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Right, marks 10 given this. Which of the following index items can be used to return the highest mark? So first of all, look at what the highest mark is, right? So according to this one, we can see highest mark is 93. So if you want to access 93, then it should be A. Yes, within square brackets, we can put the index, that is A7. Again, this is also not that difficult question, and I hope everybody got the correct answer. Right. Okay, let's move to the next one. Right. Question number 37. So how many times the dollar mark will be displayed after execution of following pseudocode? Right. So we have to identify how many times that is, so this was a quite difficult one because I see about only half of the class got the correct answer correct. So let's look at the issues first. Now we look at like couple of loops. We look at while loop, we look at for loop, do while loop, repeat until. So remember, in repeat until, this will repeat if this is false, right? Repeat until will repeat if the condition become false, right? So the condition at the end, so anyway it will run once. So just check. Now always better to put the initial value. So we will have P, then we have to have Q, right? So the starting value, when you start, that means when you are in first iteration, before you go inside the loop, we don't have a value for Q, but P we know it's 0. So that's why we will start. Now you go inside the repeat. When you say repeat, it's a start of the loop. So this is loop number 1. It says Q is P mod 2. Mod 2 means you get the remainder. What is P? It's 0. Divide by 2 and there's no remainder, isn't it? So the Q will be 0 anyway, right? Then we will say if Q is 1, then display dollar. Now Q, is it 1? No. So dollar will not be displayed, right? Let me put here the display. Display nothing. Now what is P? P is P plus 1, the earlier 0, then now it becomes 1. Repeat until P less than 5. Right? So now you are checking whether the p value, right? And then you can see p, when you have 1, it's less than 5, right? 1, it's true. So this is true, isn't it? And you will come out. So nothing will be displayed. That's where the problem comes in, right? Because you have 1 is less than 5, it's true, right? When you true, you come out. So nothing to display. So the question is actually there's a mistake. So you will get all answers. Whatever you put it here, you will get all answers. Correct answer is no display. So that time, that was actually a mistake there, right? That is question number 37. So let's move on to question number 38. Question number 38. Consider the flowchart on the right, which inputs a number and display the message valid mark if the input number is between 0 and 100. Consider the flowchart on the right, inputs a number and display the message valid mark if the number is between 0 to 100. Right. Now let's look at this one. So we have start, we have input n. You are checking whether n is greater than or equal to 0. Right? If not, then it says invalid mark. If it is a yes, okay, you have to check something. We have to P, R, and Q. So we check the 0 here, we have to check 100 here, right? So the first one is you have to put what? So we have to check what? N with 100, right? Isn't it? P will be N with 100. So what do you have to check? Simple, isn't it? So the N should be, we can check whether it is less than or equal to 100. So that should be the P, isn't it? If it is yes, we know it's a valid mark. So if Q is yes, we know it's a valid mark. If it is no, what that means? It's greater than 100, right? So if it is no, then it will be R. So to get the correct answer, P should be this, right? Q should be yes and no. So that means we will get with the second one, isn't it? So we have N less than or equal to 100. So that's P. Q should be yes. R should be no. So the answer is the second one. Right. Okay. So I think that is also not that difficult. Right? Okay. Let's look at what we have. Question number 39. Which of the pseudocode is equal to the logic of the flowchart? So right now we have a flowchart. We need to find out what the logic is, right? So if you start with that, we have to have begin and end. Input C reads in, no issue. This is okay, right? And then you make a plus 32 and multiply. No, this is not going to work, right? Because adding 35, now what needs to happen is we have to have F, right? We have to, first of all, we have 9 into C. Then you have to divide by 5. Then you have to have 32. So this is what we need. But if you do this, what will happen? What is F? We have 9C plus 32 multiplied by 5. No, this is not going to work. So the option 1 is wrong, right? Look at the second option. 19 to C divide by 5 plus 32, but it's 3f. No, it's not, also not correct. Let's look at C. 9c divided by 5 plus 30. Okay, this is correct. So option 3 is the correct answer. Okay, so we can see that the correct answer is the third option. Okay, let's look at the last question. That is question number 40. Which of the following is correct regarding programming languages? Right. Now, when it comes to programming languages, we usually talk about machine language, assembly language, and high-level language. Right? And machine language uses bits, zeros and ones, and that's what computers can understand. The A is correct. B, assembly language. Usually we use simple code, right? Symbolic representation. B is also correct. C, high-level programming languages are machine independent. So it's not depend on the machine. That is also correct. So the answer should be A, B, C, all. Right. Now, having said that, now let's look at your individual marks. We can check individual marks, and then I will send you individual marks for everyone. Now for Amasha, let me check. So I'm sending Amasha's marks for 2018 paper. So that is right. Not that bad, but I think you have some issues with some of the questions. So you have to focus only, you know, those parts. I'm sending you the answer sheet. So I am sending you individually sending you feedback, not the feedback, right and wrong answers, so you can keep it. Just go through what places you made mistakes and make sure that you won't do this next time. So I'm sending you Amasha. Your answer sheet, please go through. It will be an image file. You can go through. Right. I have already sent Amasha your answers. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Next, we have Pramodi. Pramodi's marks also not that bad, but I think you can do better, right? So make sure that next time you get more marks. If you can go beyond 35, that's better. I think you can, right? So you should as well. So let me send you Pramodi your marks as your complete sheet as well. This will be sent as an image. You can go through, look at what are the mistakes that you have made. Right. Okay. So I'm sending you Pramudi. Unfortunately, I have 3 accounts. Which one I don't know I should send. Pramudi, can you confirm whether you have received the file? I send it to one of the mobile. Right. I will be sending you to the next one. Did you get now? Amasha, you have received, right? Okay, good. Pramudi, can you confirm now? This is the second number I have. Okay, good. Right. Okay. Please go through carefully and look at what places you've made the mistake. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Next, we have Achira. Achira, your marks is also good, right? I think you can also go better than this. Especially you should aim more than 35, right? Let me share your answer sheet as well. Questions will be similar to anyway like this, because today also what you have done is last year's paper, and you will see you know how difficult it is. I will give you the marks for those as well. So let me save for Achira. Achira, let me know whether you have received this. Right. The next one, we have Binu's. I will share the answers. Good, Binu, marks are good. But Binu is not in the session. So I'll be sending anyway. I'm sending Binu's one. So I send Binu's one. Right. So with that said, let's look at today's paper, marks for today's paper. So the Pramodi's marks, I'm sending Pramodi's marks first. If this is disconnect, I will send you through your chat.